Hi everyone and welcome back to our temporary location in Vietnam, where today we're going to be checking out one of the groups who, like I said, it was two groups who we covered in our South Korean World Tour Wednesdays, and usually we only do Japanese music on this channel except for the World Tour Wednesdays, but these groups were so popular we decided to move them over to our normal listening schedule. Now, one of them was Walking After You, the rock band, and the other one was actually the South Korean girl band, DREAMCATCHER, because they were actually quite different from what we expected. They had quite a rocky approach, and it was really enjoyable actually hearing them giving kind of if you like, a rock twist on South Korean pop music, which does have a bit of a sound, you know, we all kind of know what that South Korean pop music sound is, so hearing it with a rock inflection was really fun. Anyway, they've had some new songs recently, so I thought why not invite them over into our normal fare of listening with one of their new songs, and this one is called Breaking Out, and it was comically mentioned we should check out Breaking Out of their new songs first of all, because it'd be good to have a Breaking Out breakdown. Anyway, before I do too much talking, let's have a listen to a Breaking Out by DREAMCATCHER, and then we can talk afterwards. So here it is, Breaking Out by DREAMCATCHER. Interesting build-up. Sounds a bit thin at the moment, but looking forward to seeing where it goes with the chorus. They saved up some good impact there, that was nice. That's a nice little breakdown there. Having a sort of stabby chorus is a really interesting way to go and does work. I'm not sure, I mean, it gives a good contrast from the rest of the song, but I'm not sure how well the whole song flows as a general. So that's a good ending. Good ending. Nice and sharp, nice and quick ending. Beginning of the end. Oh, I'm assuming that's a new record they got coming out. Alright, so let's talk about this one, because there's a few points to unpack on this one. It is a bit of a curious song, actually, in a few lengths. First of all, I really like the fact that it started off seeming a little bit like, are they just going to go for a generic minimalist pop song? Is this? It seemed a little bit like, oh, this is a little bit bland at first, but then when you got it in context of that, it's actually just the build up to the chorus. You know, it's just the contrast to the heavy bits. that's quite nice, because then when the chorus came in, you're like, oh, okay, that's good. This feels more impactful than it would have done if they'd started off heavy to begin with. So that was a good thing. The pre-chorus has a nice little breakdown in it, but then it has a sort of a chugging guitar bit that just sounded badly mixed to me. The guitar, I think, should have been a bit quieter in that bit, because it did sound a bit weird and muddy just for a few bars before each chorus when they were doing that. But that's a sort of a minor issue. Overall, I think my feeling was that the verse was nice. It wasn't particularly the most interesting one they've ever had, but it was nice. The chorus was really good, really strong. Like the idea of having a sort of stabby chorus, that's a really great way of doing a sort of a heavy, impactful rock sound, but keeping it along with the pop. I mean, they've had some fantastic choruses that they've done before, which were done with, you know, much more sort of strumming guitar. So this was an interesting way of using rock in a more pop sympathetic way, I guess. You know, it sounded like big, impactful, whereas usually a lot of pop artists would use like a really sort of deep, like rumbling synth bass or something. Instead, they went with the guitars, and that really worked. And the vocal melody was nice and rhythmic as well, which that all kind of gelled well. Overall, though, I felt like the song didn't have a huge amount of flow. It kind of felt like it was a bit stoppy-starty. Even though it had that great variation between the verses and the choruses, it didn't feel like it flowed as well as a lot of their other songs. I'll be interested in hearing some of their newer material, because maybe they've got better examples of that on some of their other songs that they've done recently. But this didn't feel like it flowed as well as a lot of the other things. The chorus, some of their older songs, the chorus I think is a good one. But like I say, I think that'll stick with me for a while. But I think overall the song doesn't have quite as much re-listenability as a lot of their older material, because of that slightly jittery flow that it has. The bridge as well, the bridge was perfectly functional, but it didn't really add anything to the song. It kind of just felt like a quiet bridge and then go in. So in a lot of ways, everything kind of felt like it was balancing and dancing around that really good chorus. It was just like a lot of quieter things happening to sort of build some space so that we could throw you back into the next chorus each time it came round. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's not quite up on the level of some of the other Dreamcatcher songs I've heard. I didn't like it as much as a lot of the other ones. Compared to a lot of this sort of girl band stuff, it certainly would be a song where if I was hearing this as their first song, I'd be like, yeah, I want to check out more of that artist. But given the level and quality of a lot of the other songs I've heard by them, it kind of feels like, okay, good enough, but not your A game. Certainly if they're releasing new material, I hope there's some of the other stuff. And I'd like to say, I think they've got a few new songs they've put out recently, which I'll be checking out as many as I can, certainly. I hope that some of the others are a little bit better than this, because like I said, there's nothing wrong with this, but at the same time, it's interesting more than it is like a real wow. It's like I said, it doesn't flow enough to really invite re-listens. One of the things that occurred to me, I hate to be too critical, but like I said, this is a group who I've heaped a lot of praise on in the past, and so as a result, they've set the bar so high that on a channel like this, where we have to be honest, it's our whole shtick. We're honest about things. I'm going to be add a few critical points on this, even though overall, like I say, good song. A couple of other points that did come up is, one is that the video was, I know they have less budget for their video, but this one didn't quite have the charm of a lot of their other videos. It wasn't quite as individual. It just kind of felt like them in between some weird objects and lines. It was kind of like, you know, appearing in Picasso's most boring painting. It didn't really have a huge amount of identity to the video. And the rapper, the girl who does the rapping, I guess this woman doing the rapping, I've kind of felt like usually her style is a little bit sort of jittery, which is okay. You know, she does that stop start style, which I know is kind of more popular recent, but this one, it did feel like she kind of almost wasn't rapping. It was way too near to like being trapped, like da 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 da. Pause. Da 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 da. Pause. It kind of didn't have the flow that I would expect from someone who's doing rap, and I do think she has the talent to pull off something more than that. So I felt that maybe she was pandering a little bit to a current style, whereas I think she could have been expressing more of her own ability and taking advantage of a very rhythmic beat that this song has. It has a quite sparse rhythmic beat, which is perfect for rap. You know, there's enough to suggest complexity, but there's enough space left for you to fill in the gaps. So yeah, I'm not disappointed by this song, but it certainly doesn't stack up to the level of some of their better music, and I will be listening to certainly more from this new album, because I'm sure they got some really good things going on for them. I'm sure they have some other songs that will appeal to me more on this one. So guys, feel free as always, tell me which songs I should listen to next. Certainly from the new batch, I really want to hear some of their newer songs. Maybe some of the older songs you want me to go back to as well, but I am interested, as they've got new material coming out, to check some of that out as well. primarily now, as it is, you know, fresh and it's kind of exciting, and I don't want to have to wait too long, because obviously I can't listen to the songs until I do them for reactions. That wouldn't be proper first reactions, would they? So I'm kind of waiting for you guys to let me listen to their new stuff. So good songs, yeah. That's what I really want to look for. And this one's kind of okay, yeah, better than I would expect from most other bands, but for you guys, kind of par for the course, not really stand out. So, as always, like I say, though, this is my subjective opinions. I try to be as objective as possible, but I have to have a subjective element after all, because entertainment is entertainment. It's just music after all. So, guys, get in the comments and what you think. If you're new to the artist, tell me what you think. Certainly, that'd be really interesting. If you already know the artist quite well, if you know more about them than I do, which probably is quite likely a few people, then feel free to get in there as well. Tell me more and give me suggestions and links and various things as well. And as we always say, you know that you've got our Reddit and our Discord if you really want to get involved with us, and that's a good place to recommend new songs for us as well, because when I'm checking out which links to go for, it's much easier to pick them up if they're on our subreddit, especially than on YouTube, where there's so many videos and comments to go through. So if you want to get them really fast tracked, get into the Reddit and send us some messages on there. There's a whole thread for that. We've also got the Facebook and Twitter as always, so you can be more of a casual follower, and we post things on there, so hopefully that's fun. And we've got the Patreon if you really like the channel and you want to support us, which hopefully you do, because we don't make any money from this. None of our videos are monetized. We don't do that. So anyway, thank you so much for following us, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. But for now, from Vietnam, where I temporarily am, ciao ciao.